This trader is continuously making huge gains on YOLOs and is in the past 3 months out by $105,000. Someone made an insane comeback from a 90% loss to a 1355% gain. This trader is literally the embodiment of WallStreetBets, and make sure you watch until the end because this trader turned just $500 into $7,000 in 1 month with one of the riskiest strategies. And we are starting off with a huge gain by Pussy Breath 007, who is in the past 3 months up by around 68% or $105,167.31, and we can see that most of these gains came in the last month. In the last video he made 40k on Coinbase calls and then YOLO'd with $50,000 into 165 free-win call options with a striking price at $12.50 and an expiration date on September the 15th. Well, surprisingly those turned out great as he's made $59,451.78. Besides free-win, he also made around 32k on SoFi, 30k on SMCI, 10k on WAL and 10k on AMC. He's currently up around 8k on Inowix, and for his next play he's bullish on Peloton and Sunrun, which is why he bought 26 Sunrun call options with a striking price at $15 and expiration date on September the 15th, and 100 Peloton call options with a striking price at $8 and expiration date on September the 15th. And he's bullish on them because Peloton is oversold and they have significantly reduced their unprofitability in the last 2 quarters. They have competent management now and have good products. Meanwhile, Sunrun is an excellent company with a huge total addressable market in an increasingly favorable governmental environment rich with incentives and subsidies. Not to mention they are the official solar partner of Costco. Solar is only getting bigger and bigger, so he has no idea why Sunrun isn't priced more richly, and it's also somewhat oversold at the moment. Besides these 2 positions, he also bought 500 Tilray call options with a striking price at $1.50 and an expiration date on January the 19th, as he's trying this new thing called buying low. He's never done it before as he always tries to buy as high as possible. All these wheat stocks are pretty much garbage, but how low can they really go? They appear oversold in the short term, and if he's wrong then otherwise, he's built his account up to 260k trading options almost exclusively, but it's certainly possible he loses every cent. Next, we have an incredible comeback by the Wonderx 2, who had a long road back. His account reached its lowest point on January the 2nd, when he was down by 90% around 60k and was left with just $6,160.14. Luckily, he didn't give up, and since then he's up by 1,355% or $63,590.19, which means he actually rose above break-even by about $1,000. He was up pretty good in November 2021, then it all went to all through 2022 and he lost almost everything, but it all started to change when Tesla hit $104 on January 6th and he decided to go all in with what little he had left. He just thought, how worse can it get? Not to mention earnings were coming up 3 weeks later, so he went all in and sold his position on Investor Day as a sell the news event when Tesla hit $203 that same day. Then he bought back in at around $180 and sold again at $213 a few weeks ago and hasn't touched the stock since. Next, we have an insane loss by Snoop Panda 270, who is literally the embodiment of WallStreetBets. Combined losses with his noob account are about 40k, so ask him next time if you wanna inverse him. Diamond Hand and 0 day still expiry apparently is not the way, and just looking at his all-time chart dropping very consistently without a single gain, I'm honestly kind of impressed that he managed to get his account all the way to $0.00. Want to know how he achieved this? Well, on day 2 of his very first time he traded, he was met with 4 limit downs. He thought puts is the way and always bought weeklies as he never understood long and profit taking. Well, there ain't much profit to take. He always diamond handed and his first bought stocks were all pennies and pharma, so naturally it all tanked. Then he YOLO'd on 3 days till expiry airline calls, which was his biggest loss, so he pretty much lost all his money on puts, and his most recent one is 4k on in the money 0-day still expiry puts. And I honestly have never seen a trader who fits so perfectly in the WallStreetBets subreddit. Next we have one of the most insane all-time charts I have ever seen by Pumpkin Spice Latte. Since 2020 he's had multiple insane spikes and losses. The original spike was from purchasing Tesla options right before they decided to split. He held on like a jackass once the selling happened because he wanted to see his account go to 6 figures. He doesn't remember what the second spike was, but the third spike was when Tesla announced they were S&P bound. He was so close to touching 6 figures and thought it was going to happen. Once again sell off, and he held, waiting for that meter to go to $100,000, only to have it all fall. He decided to take a break, threw some cash in there once in a while. Flash forward, he bought Nvidia options before their massive earnings and did the same exact thing. He saw his account go from $6,500 to $89,000 and then down to $17,000. It went back to 40k and he finally took some profits. Now he's on his way back up again. Next we have a huge loss by few following 4011, who in the 3 years of straight regradation lost $40,891.45, and the most insane part is that based on his chart he didn't even make a single gain. What was his go-to strategy? 0-day still expiry options without stop losses. They are just spaced out nicely between deposits. Although he had some 20 to 30% wins, but the losses were all 100%. And it gets worse. His parents would be so proud if only they knew what he did with the money they gave him to pay off his student loans. And if it wasn't already obvious, he didn't pay off a penny of his student loans. In contrast, trader by the name of Squirrel Megaphone is actually making money with 0-day still expiry options. In 1 month of all YOLOing a $500 deposit into SPX options, he grew his accounts to $6,169.27, which means he multiplied his account 14 times. Looking at his trade history, we can see that he makes multiple trades per day and all of them are actually 0-day still expiry. He watches the early morning momentum between 9:30 and 9:40 and buys in based on which direction it seems to be breaking out in, and he cashes out if the breakout is weak and holds on to it if it's a strong breakout. But it's not like he instantly got good at trading with this strategy. He started trading options in June 2021 and he's blown up about 3 to 4 accounts prior to this. So he only trades options with fun money like this and everything else goes into his Roth IRA. And if you want to see how this trader made $1.7 million in just a day, click on the video that just popped up. If you like my content, make sure to subscribe, and if you have any questions or recommendations, leave them in the comments down below, and thanks for watching.